Hi guys, it's Mika Martinez, and in this video, I'm going to go over our training for technical SEO for Shopify. If you don't know who I am the co-founder of 607 Media, a Shopify SEO agency. I've been in the SEO space for over 6 years now, and I am a Shopify SEO expert, right? And I just realized that I'm wearing a Chiang Mai SEO conference t-shirt. Shout out to Matt Diggity. The Chiang Mai SEO conference is the best SEO conference. So if you're looking to go to one, I recommend going to that. Anyway, what is technical SEO? Technical SEO involves optimizing your website's technical elements to improve how search engines like Google crawl, understand, and index your site. And the idea is that if you can streamline these processes or you make it easier for search engines to do these things, the better your chances of ranking, right? And technical SEO is often overlooked, especially on Shopify, because many assume that Shopify has it taken care of. And for the most part, Shopify does provide a good foundation, but to fully unlock your site's ranking potential, further technical optimizations are needed, usually in the form of sorting out automatically generated pages, refining Shopify's default URL structure, and implementing structured data, amongst other things, right? Technical SEO is important because it is the foundation of any SEO campaign, right? It is the critical first step in the 10x Shopify SEO Accelerator playbook, which is basically our playbook at 607 Media. And if you skip this step, it doesn't matter how good your content or backlink profile is. It doesn't matter how many resources you invest into quality content or quality backlinks, because without a strong foundation, your strategy basically stands on shaky ground like this. Okay. So you might be wondering though, like, how does technical SEO actually improve rankings? Like, what's the mechanism behind that, right? And the idea is basically like, Google is a business, and as a business, they're trying to maximize efficiency. And, that includes how it crawls and indexes websites on the internet, right? And then this efficiency is measured in terms of what we call the cost of retrieval, which is, the resources Google expends to crawl the millions of websites online. And, the idea behind technical SEO is that if you optimize your technical SEO, you effectively lower the cost of retrieval for Google, giving you better chances of ranking, right? Okay. So I guess now you're wondering, how do you, optimize your website or Shopify store for technical SEO then, right? So at 607 Media, we have a 3-step process. So number one, we manually look through your Shopify store for common technical SEO issues. Number two, we use a tool like Sitebulb to crawl the website for any issues that you couldn't find manually. And number three, we check Google Search Console, just because it's a good way to see what Google's actually seeing and indexing on your site, what errors it's actually finding itself, right? So let's break each of these steps down, okay? So number one, common technical SEO issues on Shopify and how to fix them. So the first thing is Shopify product page URLs. So by default, Shopify's product page URL structure is not SEO friendly. Typically, a product page URL looks like this: /products / name of product. However, when you access the product from a collection page, the URL changes to collections, name of category, products, name of product. And you can see that when you open any product from a collection page in your store. So I'm going to show you an example of how that looks like on an actual store, right? So we're here on righteousfelon.com. If you look at their OG Hickory Beef Jerky product page, if we go to that product page from the Healthy Beef Jerky collection page, and if we go to the same product from the jerky collection page, they end up with different product page links, right? This one has Healthy Beef Jerky in it, and this one has jerky in it, right? So you can see, how that can be a problem in terms of SEO. Like, you might not see, like, you might think that it's helpful or useful for the user. But the problem with this is that, even if the URL changes, there's a piece of code called a canonical tag that tells search engines that the primary page is still the original /products/name of product URL. And you can see that here, right? Like, this is the URL you see, but if I look at the source of this page and I look for the canonical, you can see the canonical tag is still pointing to the original product page URL. So this isn't actually the original product page URL, and the original product page URL is actually this without the collection name, right? And this can lead to search engines potentially indexing the same product under multiple URLs, inefficiently using your site's crawl budget, right? And your crawl budget is the limited capacity search engines allocate to crawling your website, right? So you can see how that can become problematic in terms of SEO, right? So our proposed solution is to, change your theme files so all product links go directly to the primary product page URL. So instead of having these links, we go skip this and skip the canonical tag and go straight to the original primary product page URL. Okay, so how would we do this? So to fix Shopify product page URLs, you just have to go to your Shopify dashboard, online store, edit code, go to snippets, and then you look for the grid item, product grid item liquid. And depending on the theme you're using, this could be different, right? So like I created a new store for this training, and if I go to snippets, the grid item, like you can actually just search for grid. It's usually that. See, it's main collection product grid.liquid. So depending on your theme, you might have a different file name, but it usually has the word grid on it. And then what you want to do is you find the part that says within collection and remove that part. That will basically remove this part of the URL, and then you'll just end up with the original product page URL on your product grid, right? And then you want to save changes, of course. Okay. A key thing to remember here is that you want to double check to make sure that you're removing this text from all instances, right? Because like different themes, different sites, different stores have different setups, right? So you want to make sure that you're removing it from all instances. Okay. What I noticed also is that some newer themes actually have this automatically removed already. So don't worry about that if you can't find the within collection in your product grid. Okay. So next, breadcrumbs. In the last section, we talked about fixing our product page URLs. But doing this can mess up your breadcrumbs because, and the breadcrumbs, by the way, are these small links at usually the top left of your website. This is an example on Best Buy, okay? And they're very useful for navigation, especially on collection and product pages. The problem with this is that Shopify creates breadcrumbs based on the URL you came from. And if we're implementing this fix for our product page URLs, it destroys or it breaks the breadcrumbs. So our proposed solution is to manually set up breadcrumbs for each product and collection. You can do this by using a meta field. A meta field is like a custom piece of information you can add to your products and collections. So I'm going to show you a quick example of what a meta field might look like, right? So you can go to content, meta objects, and then there's actually a button here, manage definitions. And then you can, click products and you can add a definition here. And you would make like a breadcrumb meta field. And I usually make this global. And then you can select type. I don't recommend using the collection type. I think it can create issues. I think it's best to use a URL and then just type the URL of the collection on your product page. So that's how you would use a breadcrumb meta field. Okay. Create the meta field and then, store the collection name in this meta field, like I mentioned earlier. And then you want to modify your breadcrumb section in the theme using this meta field. So you can add a link like this, okay? That way your breadcrumbs are working again and you have even more control over them. because you can just manually change what the breadcrumb is depending on what you want. Okay. And, like, again, when you're editing code like this, it can be tricky if you have no experience as a developer. But if you need help setting this up, you can always ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT can, really makes this process super easy. So yeah, if you get stuck with any issues, or you don't know where to put the code, things like that, you can always ask ChatGPT. Okay. Next, indexed product and blog tags. So on Shopify, tags are used for both products and blogs. These tags help users filter items or posts, which is a standard feature in many online stores and blogs. So here are examples of product tags. Like here on this site, examples of product tags include normal, combination, dry, oily. So they're referring to skin types, I'm assuming. And each of these tags create individual pages, auto-generated pages made by Shopify. And you might assume this is good for SEO, because like, what if someone's searching for moisturizer for dry skin, right? Like, it would be nice to have a page for moisturizer for dry skin. The problem with this is that Shopify's tag system has limitations. Like, tags with spaces actually get converted into URL like this, and URLs like this are automatically blocked in Shopify's default setup. So, auto-generated tag pages can't have unique SEO elements like custom H1s, meta descriptions, or titles. This leads to many duplicate pages, which isn't great for SEO. And the same with blog tags. Blog tags create separate pages for each tag without allowing customization. This results in a lot of pages with thin content under URLs like this below. This is the same example from, an example from Righteous Felon, the same site we were referring to earlier. So you can see how problematic this is. If you're a site with thousands of blog posts or thousands of products, you'll end up with a lot of duplicate, thin, low-value pages being crawled and indexed by search engines like Google. So how would you index product and blog tags? So for both product and blog tags, the solution is just to adjust your Shopify settings. You should set these tag pages to no index follow to prevent search engines from indexing them, while still allowing link following for SEO purposes. So all you need to do is add this code snippet to your theme.liquid file. If you don't know where to put it, what you can do is you can copy paste your theme.liquid file on ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, okay, where should I put this piece of code? Okay, and by doing this, you avoid creating low-value pages that can hurt your SEO. And if certain tags are important, like if you really wanted a dedicated collection page for moisturizers for dry skin, then just create the dedicated collection pages for them instead, right? Don't rely on the tags. Creating a dedicated page for these collections give you more control over the SEO elements, the H1, the URL, the title tag, and allows you to create more high-value content for your visitors. Next, auto-generated collection pages. Shopify also automatically generates pages that can lead to SEO issues due to their thin content. Pages like vendor pages, product type pages, and other default pages like collection lists, right? So vendor and product type collections, they typically look like this for vendors and like this for product types. Again, you don't add any SEO value, so you wanna set them to no index follow in your theme.liquid file with code snippets like this. So this code snippet for the vendor pages and this code snippet for the product type pages. And then there are even more pages like the collections pages, like all collections, the all products pages, and the new products pages. These are also low value pages and serve no SEO purpose. Again, you aren't targeting any keywords with these pages, so it's better to no index follow them using this code snippet below. Don't forget to change this portion to your actual website. And if you find any issues, again, it's safe to just ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT can help you out. And yeah, another really important thing actually is a Robots.txt. A Custom robots.txt gives you more control over how search engines crawl your website. A good robots.txt can block the crawling of all the auto-generated low-value thin duplicate pages we mentioned earlier. To check your current robots.txt file, you can visit this link. Just replace this with your actual website, right? And to customize your robots.txt file, you can just go to your, well, we can do this together. We can go to our Shopify theme. Get out of here. You can go to our Shopify theme. You can go to edit code. And then you want to look for the snippet section. And you want to add, not the snippet section, the template section. And you want to add a new template. And then you can select the template type. You can select the robots.txt template. And then there you go. You have a new custom robots.txt, right? And what you want to do is you want to modify your robots.txt. This is how we do it. We basically add rules to prevent the crawling of those low value pages we mentioned earlier, right? So this is typically what we use. A word of caution though, be careful when you apply these changes, because again, if you don't make the changes we mentioned earlier, especially with the product page URLs, this will end up creating crawling issues for you, right? And then, just be very careful with this piece of code. This blocks all products collection. This blocks the vendor types, the vendor pages we mentioned earlier, the product types. It blocks all the tag pages, the product tag pages and the blog tag pages. And so you can see how setting up a custom robots.txt file can be very beneficial in terms of SEO. But again, I want you to proceed with caution and you understand exactly what's going on with these rules so you don't create any crawling issues on your website. Okay. Next, one thing that's also important to do is simplifying product variants. If you have a lot of products in your Shopify store, you need to manage product variants to avoid creating too many duplicate pages. For example, if you're listing each color variant of a sock as a separate product, like cotton sock green or cotton sock black, you might end up with a lot of duplicate pages because, again, what's the difference between a green cotton sock and a black cotton sock? It's just the color. So the product description should be the same. Everything else is the same. The information is the same. The only difference could be like the H1 title URL and then I guess the color of the sock, right? And this is problematic if each variant doesn't have significant search volume because they're essentially just duplicate pages, right? And so there are two ways we handle this. Number one, we merge variants into a single product, right? So if color or size differences aren't the main focus, and these color and sizes don't have any significant search volume, you can actually merge these variants into one product listing. In Shopify, you can set variant options for one product. So you just have one product and then the different colors are the different variants of that one product. This keeps your site clean and avoids creating any unnecessary duplicate pages. Number two, if you really want to create a separate page for the different colors or the different sizes, you can use canonical tags. Again, as we mentioned earlier in this video, a canonical tag tells search engines which version of the page is the primary one to index. You can set a canonical tag for each variant to the main or primary product page. This way, you can have multiple different product pages, but guide the search engines to index only the main one. And to set this up, again, you just need to use a custom meta field for your products. And then you can edit this in your Shopify admin area. So for example, let's do this on our store, our sample store. You can go to this URL right here. And then, let's set that load for a bit. You can actually put your canonicals right here, right? So you can actually do it for multiple products at the same time. You would put the URL for product one here. You can put the URL for product one here. And now you have canonicals on product 2 and product 3, pointing to product 1, signaling to the search engine that product 1 is the main product page, and that's the one we want you to crawl and index and actually rank, right? Okay. And yeah, you can also update your theme.liquid file using this meta field. Yep, you just copy paste this. Again, if you're not a developer, you don't know where to put this, you can always ask ChatGPT. And by either merging variants or using canonical tags, you avoid indexing a ton of unnecessary duplicate pages and improve your Shopify store's SEO. Next, 301 redirecting deleted products. Okay, so redirecting deleted products is essential to maintaining your store's SEO. When you remove a product from your store, instead of letting customers land on a 404 error, it's actually better to redirect them to a related page. Not only does this improve user experience, but also helps with SEO because now the search engine is not crawling a 404 page. It's still going through that 404 page now, but it's now being redirected to a relevant product or collection page. And doing this also preserves your link equity. If that page that if that page was deleted and it had some backlinks on it, you want to keep that link equity by redirecting it to a new product or collection page. To set up redirects on Shopify, you just need to go to your admin dashboard, go to online store. I think we can go here, online store, navigation, and then view URL redirects, and then you can just add a redirect here, right? And what you want to do is you basically want to redirect from the old URL, which is the deleted product, to the new URL, which is either a new product or a relevant collection page, and then just save redirect. And doing this ensures your visitors and search engines are guided to the relevant content instead of hitting dead ends. And again, you end up preserving your link equity if any of these pages have backlinks. Okay. Another thing you want to do is remove pages from Shopify sitemaps. The thing with Shopify is that on other content management systems like WordPress, when you set a page to canonical or no index, it usually automatically excludes them from the sitemap. But on Shopify, you need to do it manually. But it's actually pretty easy to do this, to manually exclude pages from a sitemap. Shopify has a hidden SEO meta field. You can access and edit this field through this link. This is actually the same link as earlier. You just need to change your store here to your actual domain, and then that's here. That's this box right here. When you hit true, basically it removes that URL from the sitemap. Okay, and again, be very careful. Ticking SEO hidden automatically sets the page to no index, no follow. It's not ideal if you just intended to canonicalize that page. So to bypass that, you want to edit your theme.liquid file. You want to look for this section and then replace it with this code snippet, right? This allows you to remove pages from the sitemap without the unwanted side effect of setting them to no index, no follow. Okay. Next, structured data. This is actually a very important section. Structured data is a method used to communicate the context of your content to search engines more effectively. It enhances the way search engines interpret and present your content on the search engine results page, or the SERP. If you didn't have any structured data, your placement wouldn't show the price, the star ratings, whether you have any free delivery offers, or what your return policy is. So yes, very important to have product structured data. And most Shopify themes come with basic product schema already integrated. However, you should always double check to make sure that it's working properly and that you're including all the key properties that you should have, right? Like here's some of the key properties that we want to include. Next, article structured data. So for blog posts, article structured data is used. Again, it's likely set up by default on your theme, but you should always double check. These are the key properties we recommend you include. And then, breadcrumb list structured data is also really helpful. It outlines your site's breadcrumb navigation and basically gives search engines an idea of what your website hierarchy looks like. And this is an example structured data or schema of the Best Buy example we showed earlier, right? It's the home page. cell phones, iPhone, all iPhone. And to implement this, you just need to check your theme's breadcrumbs.liquid. You can find it under snippets when you edit the code of your Shopify theme. Again, if you need any help implementing this, it's always safe to ask ChatGPT. And if you're still confused, yeah, you should contact an actual Shopify developer. Properly implementing structured data not only improves your SEO, but also enables these rich snippets, right? So you want to have structured data on your website. Okay, so now that we've tackled the common technical SEO issues on Shopify, there are going to still be remaining issues that may not be immediately apparent from looking through your Shopify store. And to uncover them, we crawl the store using a tool called Sitebulb. What Sitebulb does is it crawls every URL or page on your site and identifies certain technical SEO issues like missing title tags, alt tags, crawl errors, 404 pages, etc. So it just basically takes care of the remaining issues, right? Okay. So this is how we start a crawl with Sitebulb. You just initiate a new project, enter your details. I recommend using the Chrome crawler because it can render JavaScript content, and then use a mobile device because search engines use mobile first indexing these days. Then you want to configure your crawl settings. Like you might want to turn on structured data to check if your structured data is working, okay? And then you just have to wait for your crawl to complete. It may take some time. If you have a large store, if you have a small store, it'll be really quick. And then you want to review the crawl results. So once the crawl once the crawl is complete, you'll basically be redirected to a page like this, showing your site's overall health. And then it'll outline a bunch of hints or issues, technical SEO issues that exist on your site, and they'll be sorted as critical, high, medium, etc. And these are the types of issues that are commonly detected in this by Sitebulb. Crawl errors, broken links, orphan pages, schema errors, broken images, indexing issues, duplicate content, missing title tags, meta descriptions, and alt tags. The goal here is to fix the critical and high importance issues first, then work through the rest. Addressing each of these issues will improve your Shopify store's SEO performance. So definitely do a Sitebulb crawl. And the last thing is really resolving SEO issues on Google Search Console. So Google Search Console is a tool for monitoring and improving your website's visibility in search engines. So identifying issues with GSE. So the first thing we always do when we log into Google Search Console is to check the page indexing session. Here you'll find insights into any crawling or indexing issues your site might be facing, such as 404 errors, page marked as crawled, currently not indexed, those blocked by Robots.txt, etc. What you want to do here is you want to make sure, that you review the list of 404 errors, and then, if pages aren't supposed to be there, use 301 redirects to the appropriate URLs to recover any lost traffic and preserve link equity. You also want to evaluate no index pages and just verify to make sure that if pages are marked no index, you did this intentionally, because if they really shouldn't be indexed, you want to remove them from the sitemap. And if you intended to index them, then definitely there's something wrong there, right? Because they're marked no index, and you need to remove that no index on them. And the last thing is really checking structured data issues. Again, you want to have structured data. It allows you to get those rich snippets on the SERP. And you can check that on the shopping and enhancements section. If you find any structured data issues, sometimes it's just like a minor coding error, like a missing comma. And so it's actually very easy to correct these issues if you find them. So each Shopify store will face its own unique set of issues. Resolving all of these issues is really key to enhancing your store's search engine presence. Again, the easier you make it for search engines to crawl and understand the content on your website, the higher your chances of ranking. Okay. And that's everything you need to know about technical SEO for Shopify. A final reminder, Do not ignore technical SEO. If you're working with a large store with thousands of pages, technical SEO is key. With this many pages, it can significantly affect your site's rankings. And even if you're working with a smaller store, making sure you have the proper technical foundations in place give you the best shot at ranking. Okay? And so technical SEO, as you can see here, is the critical first step of the broader 10x Shopify SEO Accelerator playbook. To unlock an additional 20,000 in monthly profit, a holistic SEO approach is vital. This whole playbook needs to be applied and implemented. So what comes next? You can see it here. It's Shopify site speed optimization. Site speed is important because it not only boosts conversion rates, but also signals to search engines your commitment to the delivery of a high quality user experience. If you want us to take care of your SEO, there's a link at the top of this presentation to book a call with me. And we'll see if you're a good fit to work with us. If you're a good fit to work with us, we basically take care of everything. It's very hands-off on your end. And if you hop on a call with me, there's no obligation to work with us. At the very least, you end up with a free consultation and an SEO action plan you can implement yourself. So yeah, let's hop on a call. Let's see if you're a good fit to work with us. And yeah, that's it for now. Thanks.